Well, Happy New Year, and I wish you a ton of success and joy and peace and abundance in this new year. I wanted to do something different. Let's do a one-on-one coaching session with me. We're gonna go deep, so grab a coffee or something. And I want to talk to you about if you were starting over and hitting the reset button because maybe 2024 wasn't the best year. Maybe it wasn't everything that you hoped it would be. And so the question is like, how do you make the next year better? How do you learn from things that happened? How can you optimize and how can you make things, like I said, better in the future? And one of the things that I'm doing personally, we'll talk about, actually, we'll go from foundations to vision, implementation, systemization, automation, delegation, and scaling so that you can have more freedom in your life, in your business, in your personal life. We're going to start with what I call the Clean 100. It's a challenge. It's free. I'll link it below when I have a PDF for it where you can follow along. You can maybe we do a spreadsheet for it, some sort of system for you to stay accountable and follow through and change your life in 100 days. Some people say, why would you create a challenge? Why don't you just decide to change your life and cut out anything that isn't serving you and then just never do a challenge again? And I get that, understand it, and that's the ideal for everybody. That's not the reality though for most people. We set new goals for the new year, new year resolutions. There's a lot of times where we set new goals and we have a vision, we have an idea that we're super inspired by, but it doesn't come through. It doesn't happen. Why is that? It's because we stop it. Like we stop doing the thing that we said we were going to do. And today I'm going to give you a one-on-one coaching session and guide you through what I would do if I'm starting over, if I'm cleaning out, if I'm resetting for this new year. So hopefully it can help you with your planning for the new year as well. So first of all, the Clean 100 is a challenge that looks at everything in your life that isn't serving you and isn't making you the best person you can become. Therefore, avoiding the impact that you can have in people's lives around you. So your family, your loved ones, your community, your business, your audience, anything that is stopping you from becoming the best version that can help those people has to go. And it sounds a little bit extreme until you realize, like, why am I even doing the thing that I'm struggling to get rid of? So for example, me personally, I got rid of energy drinks, even though they were healthier versions of energy drinks. I got rid of them a couple of months ago, like 4-5 weeks ago, because they were doing more harm than good, right? So yes, I would stay pretty healthy and overall like eat pretty good, but the energy drinks were causing me anxiety and bad sleep. And as you know, bad sleep can lead to a lot of things. Can lead to burnout. Bad sleep can lead to not being productive. Mood changes. Bad sleep can mess with your focus. It will mess with your focus. And bad sleep will destroy your immune system. And I've noticed, I even have a little bit of a cold still. I've had one for 2 to 3 weeks. And I wanted to make a change and cut out anything, clean out anything that isn't serving my immune system, my mental health, and my focus to be able to build the dream life that I want to have for me, for my family, for the business side, and for our community, for you guys. Ultimately, what I want to do, my goal is to show up as the best version of myself so I can inspire, educate, and free entrepreneurs. That's my goal. That's my vision. And my mission statement is to inspire, educate, and then free people who aren't living the life that they want to live. Whether that's having a job that you don't like, whether it's having a business that's stressing you out. I want to give you tools, resources, and content and material to help you make more while also having freedom by design and having a business by design so that you can optimize, you can create your own reality. I know it sounds cheesy, it sounds all the things, but it's possible. A lot of people are doing it. Which leads me to the first thing outside of clean out is limiting beliefs. You know, a lot of people, they want to have a big business, they have huge goals, but they're not the person that they want to be or that they need to be in order to get the business and then have it. And a lot of times I think that comes down to limiting beliefs. And so if you look at foundations of a successful entrepreneur, they normalize success early, right? They're almost like delusional before it's happened. And they're like, why would this not happen? You know, if they can do it, why can't I do it? And so they're delusional long enough, meaning they've made their identity future-based. Identity 2.0 is I am that person. And if I'm this person, then I will have the success as well. But also logically, they go, what I need to do to get that outcome, right? So reverse engineer, if I want to have $1 million business, I want to sell a service, a software, affiliate income, and info products. How much do I need to sell? $1 million business is 83,000.3 a month. That is this many customers, which means I need to get this traffic to my sales page or sales pages. And then they just reverse engineer and do the math. And then they get to work. They create habits, they create systems to implement that, but they've created the identity before it's happened. It's like this saying of like, you have to first see it in your mind before you can see it in reality. And so again, going back to the clean out 100 challenge is a challenge of 100 days. And we're starting with anything like physical that you need to clean out. So food and diet is such an easy example. So I started with energy drinks and now I'm cleaning out sugar. So I'm on day 7 of no sugar. In fact, I'm not even doing pasta or bread. Pretty strict. And the reason for that is because I want to eliminate. You could also call this like the elimination challenge, because you want to eliminate as much as possible in all areas of life, even business. If you had to make it simple, like what would you do? It's a question that I ask myself all the time. If you had to make the business simple, what would you do? How would you structure it? Same thing with your personal life. If you had to make your personal life simple, not easy, not everything is easy, but if you had to make it simple, right? If you had to make it inevitable and impossible to fail, inevitable that you'll succeed, how would you make it simple? You would probably eliminate everything else that isn't serving you. And you'll only keep the things that would almost ensure and guarantee the results that you want. So if I want to grow on YouTube, the only thing I need to do is create videos and learn how to make them better, look at the feedback loop and plan them better, film them better, maybe script them better, edit them better, and publish them better through packaging, thumbnails and titles. And then I would do more of it. Every day I just try to make one video and I try to optimize it and look at feedback. What are people doing? Let me try to make it better, add my own twist to it. Look at feedback. Oh, it's not performing well. It's performing well. And I would try to do it better every single day. But I wouldn't start blogging, for example. I wouldn't start doing something else. I would just stay to the fundamentals or stick to the things that are moving the needle. So I would clean out anything else. I would clean out scrolling social media. I would clean out, in fact, I have, if I look at 2024, one of the biggest mistakes that I made was spending way too much on social media, responding to comments, keeping it open. So anytime someone would message me, I would be able to check it. Right now, my phone is on, and it's been for years now, it's been on silent and now no vibrations, not even like a vibration when someone calls me. And it's given me this immense focus that's allowed me to build a pretty big business and pretty great one, multiple revenue streams. And so it's allowed me to be focused. But I noticed that social media was causing me to just have too many impressions. So when it came to build a funnel or film a video or whatever creative project or task that I had in front of me, I would feel like drained because I had like spent my energy on social media, which is dumb. So elimination says, what do we eliminate that is causing us to not perform optimally or ideally? And social media was one of those things. Energy drinks were one of those things. You'd think that energy drinks will make you more productive. That's what I thought. It's a healthy energy drink. And yes, at the time of me having an energy drink, writing something or being creative, it helped in the moment. I'd wake up feeling exhausted the next morning because it disrupted my sleep. So I eliminate it, right? And I have more clean. There's a person who always, when they see me, they notice I stop energy drinks. They say, you look so, there's like a harmony to you, like something's changed. And it's like this base nervous system anxiety or like this nervous system that isn't always peaked by artificial caffeine. And so like you drop it down, just more relaxed, more natural energy, right? So you'll notice by your diet, how your energy is, and you can optimize your diet to just feel clean energy throughout the day, no dips, and very possible, and without supplements, right? You add those on for the immune system and all that. I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but hopefully you get the idea of cleaning out everything that isn't serving you. I would say finally on that note, social circles and social external influences are way more important and crucial than you think, because a lot of times we don't want to be, we don't want to be mean. So we don't want to say, if someone asks us out or they ask us to come hang out, whatever it is, join the birthday party, whatever it is, like, we have a hard time saying no because we don't want to offend someone. We don't want to cause conflict. A lot of people have they're afraid of conflict, and you can build a lot of confidence by just being true to yourself of like, oh, I prefer having business time, family time, health, exercise time, and focusing on that. Nothing wrong with focusing on you and your family, right? But we might feel bad for saying no to distractions, if you will. So cleaning out toxic people. People have expectations of like, oh, you make money, right? So you can probably pay for this. Expectations. Don't get me wrong. I love gifting. I love giving and sharing, but not when people beg for it and they feel entitled to something because I've made some money, right? So cleaning out toxic behavior, expectations, cleaning out energy interrupters, cleaning out negative inputs such as diet that will cause inflammation that aren't helping me. Take that as a 100-day challenge. And then the goal is to stay on it for the rest of your life. But have that challenge where you stay for 100 days, commit to it, and clean out anything that isn't serving you. Maybe add like a daily walk. Very simple. Like, for example, one thing you could do is no sugar for 100 days and walk 15 minutes per day. I'm just going to go for a walk, 15 minutes. Maybe you'll go longer, but you decide and commit to 15 minutes per day. Simple start, do it for 100 days, watch your entire life change. Because now your identity is becoming, and your confidence is becoming like, you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. And, whatever level of simplicity it is, the fact that you're saying you're going to do something and you actually stick to it is priceless, right? Next thing I would do is find, and this sounds so simple, I would find like 3 books, right? Not courses, not coaching. Actually, a one-on-one coach is more valuable, but most people don't have like 5,000 laying around to spend on a coach. Maybe you can find someone for an hour, spend $500 to get them to coach you for an hour on the specific outcome that you want. But I remember for me, so many years I would just, watch the courses, go to events, but the books were some of the most groundbreaking, belief-shifting resources for me to consume. I would go for a walk or run, or even at the gym, I would listen to books on specific topics that I wanted to learn. And so these are topic specific. Like one of the books that I highly recommend is called The Millionaire Fast Lane. And The Millionaire Fast Lane, DeMarco talks about money trees. And so I had never heard about a money tree before, and it changed how I looked at business forever. And so these books can simply change your worldview and how you look at money, business, and the opportunities that you actually have in front of you. I don't think that you realize what you're capable of. I don't believe that you know the full potential that you have until you start experimenting and leveling up in your habits that create the results that you dream of, but maybe don't 100% to your inner core believe that it's possible. But I'm telling you, they are possible because other people are doing it that are no smarter than you, but maybe just had a different system and strategy to implement it. So they had some sort of like input that changed how they viewed something, that gave them enough courage and maybe even curiosity to go out and do it. And then sooner than later, but because they didn't give up, sooner or later they found the results that they were looking for by one time per day, like one step at a time, brick by brick. They were laying the foundations for the big breakthrough. And a lot of times you'll see hockey stick growth of like boom, and now you see the results. Or like in a freelancing career, you see like vroom, and it's like when you go up and it's like it gets harder and harder, you get to a tipping point, you get that massive client you've been dreaming of, and now it goes downhill. And it just, meaning in terms of effort and how hard it is, it's hard to go up the mountain. But when you get to the tipping point, everything starts becoming easy, because now you have a case study, you have a big name client. If you try to start a YouTube channel, it's so hard to learn how to film, how to, like, even for me right now, after hundreds of videos, it's not super hard, but it's definitely doesn't come natural. Like, English isn't even my first language, as you can probably tell. And so it's hard to learn, like, what about the camera? What about the settings? What about the lighting? What do I say? How do I structure the hook and the storyline and like the whole thing, right? But then you get to the tipping point where like you get it. It just clicks and you see it now. And then it becomes easier. And then the video starts taking off, and it's like the hockey stick growth. And it's because of something so simple as the compound interest, right? It's like things compound and the skills compound to the point where things that were once super hard, now because you've done it, it's compounded. You've stacked the skills and the experience. You have now the insights. You've seen what's worked because you've done the feedback loop, and you've studied it, and you've mastered the skill now that it becomes easy. Like, literally easy, you could do almost like with your eyes closed, right? Me building funnels used to be super hard. I was not naturally a designer, right? I was just curious, and I was determined to make it happen. And now after hundreds of funnels, it's easy. Like, it's easy to sell a funnel for 5,000 and build it in a day. It's easy because I've done it so many times. For Cristiano Ronaldo, or Michael Jordan, who else do we have? That's one of the great. Tom Brady. For them, like, doing something when they started was super hard, and they practice. Now it's like easy because it's muscle memory. So the goal is not to get to $1 million as soon as possible. It's to make the muscle memory recognize what you're trying to do so that it automates the task. You can do it almost half asleep. All right, so let's take a break. We've talked a lot about cleaning out bad people, toxic energy, habits, diet, optimizing for giving space for everything that you need to have in place to actually go out and create the habits that will create the results that you want. Now I want to talk about the business, right? The business that you have. I'll give you an example. My very good friends, 2 of them were in here like an hour ago, and we were talking about their business. I wanted to know more about their business, and then I wanted to also provide some insights of how I would scale the business that they currently have. Obviously, I'll keep them private. I'll respect their privacy and their names and what they do. But we'll use an industry that is similar because it's so simple to understand. So let's say I'm personally right now, let's say I'm looking to launch a performance coaching program. So I want to help people perform better. I want to help them with their habits, everything that we talked about when it comes to setting goals, implementing them, actually getting results, staying consistent, performing at a high level, have energy, feel great, be focused, and have the ability to say that you're going to do something, create the vision, and then follow through to make it happen. Let's say I'm brand new. I've never done it. I don't have a brand. I don't have an audience. I don't have pricing. I don't even have a product. I just know what I want to help people with, right? Here's what I would do from start to finish. Let's create an entire business plan, if you will. We're not going to use the SWOT, which is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats that you have. Instead, we're going to just look at the business model and how to actually start getting paid, right? We're going to assume that you know at least something of what you're selling, because otherwise you wouldn't have a business, right? Like, you wouldn't try to sell something to someone where you're you're actually bad at it, right? And if you are, you need to practice before you start charging money for it, which is why when I talk to a lot of freelancers, I say, like, before you start charging, just offer like a free project, a mini project, but it's free Therefore, there's no risk for the client, and you can easily start charging once you're getting better at it and when the client wants to hire you for another project. So here's what I would do. Number one, I would start setting up my social media profiles, and I would look at what's the business name. So maybe I register it as, I don't know, Gusten. It could literally be my name, but it could also be something just random, like performance acceleration LLC, right? Or it could be something around health division, or it could be something like the Focus Studio. It doesn't matter, like the company name. I would go and register it. I would open a bank account that is for the business. I would set up the foundations to have the legal side in place. And then once I start making money, I would hire a bookkeeper for a cheap fee. Every month they charge me at like an hourly rate to do my books for me, because I don't want to touch the bookkeeping. I want to focus on what's actually making me money. What is the hourly rate that I want to make for every hour I work? How much do I want to make? And I would outsource everything else, right? And so I would set up the business. I would create a name that is sort of within that niche that I'm going: performance, peak performance, health, focus. And I would then create a brand that is separate. Now, a brand is what people see online. So a personal brand is like you and me right now. We are both people, and we have personal brands, whether you know it or not. So if you have no followers, no content, no profile, you have a profile, but because you use social media, but if you haven't optimized it, then your personal brand is probably rated like a 2 to 3 out of 10. And you could get it to a 10 out of 10 by optimizing your social media presence and your personal brand. So I would look at the brand and I would say, like, is this a brand that I want to create around me? Do I create a separate brand for the thing I'm going to sell? And if so, what would that look like? So I want to make, actually, before we start talking about the homepage, the domain and everything, I would also look at the revenue streams. So we have the company name. I would then look at the numbers and the revenue stream. So let's say my first goal is just to make 5,000 a month, because you can live on 5,000 a month. You're not going to ball out. You're not going to be rich, but you can survive on 5,000 a month. Depending on what country you're in, you're going to have a better or worse life, but 5,000 is a great start. Now, I would always say, like, aim higher, aim bigger, because I know you can do it if you have the focus and the system and the strategy to implement it. But for simplicity, we're just going to start with 5,000. For me, starting out with something new, anything, but starting out with something new, I would look at how can I get to $5,000 with just one offer. I would start with one offer until I have 5,000. I wouldn't even consider a separate offer, but I'll show you how to sell more of the same thing in different packaging. And this is a cheat code for anyone starting new. The main package that I would sell would be 2,500, so 2,500. And the reason why I would sell at 2,500 is because I would do an annual package. So I would do 12 months. It is one-on-one, because I don't have a community. I don't have a course yet. I'm just starting out. So why spend 90 days filming a course when I could just work with people one-on-one, right? If I don't have a lot of revenue coming in and I'm not busy with building anything, like, I have time, right? And I want to work with people one-on-one so I can see how I can help them, because when they ask me a question, I can just answer the question. Like, hey, Gusten, how do you deal with burnout? Oh, actually, I've had a burnout myself. The first thing we want to do when you've had a burnout is you want to understand why you had it, so you can create new habits, and you can create systems that not only helps you recover, that gives you the space to recover, but also sets up the system so that you don't fall back into the same mistakes, the same sort of traps that got you to that burnout. And here are those steps, right? And, once I've helped them on a call, the only thing I would do is just try to get people on calls. One-on-one, it's a free consultation, and it's actually more of like a game plan call. So we can call them like a planning call, a discovery call, to map out your plan to optimize your performance and overall health and focus. So those would be the three things: your health, performance, and focus. So health will lead to better focus. which will get you more performance. And now the big question becomes, who are we working with? Because the pricing also is dictated by who has the pockets to afford it. If I'm charging 5,000, but I'm selling B2C, business to customer, then chances of me closing deals for 5,000, they have to pay it today, commit for a year, is lower than working with people who are executives, the leadership, they're founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, athletes, speakers, authors, meaning high performance already who are struggling. So in one area, they're crushing it. This is how you sell stuff that are more expensive, so you get to your revenue goals faster. But also so that you can help those people who you actually really want to work with. I believe most of the time we want to work with people who value you so much that they would pay high ticket because something that you feel like is normal to you. Like, yeah, this is just something I love to do. They would see as like super valuable, not just for the information, but because of your ability to hold them accountable, to answer their questions, for them to know that they have access to that person that can actually get them through the entire journey, whether it's 90 days, 6 months, or 12 months, 1 year. And so I would pick people who are executives, they're higher level, they're entrepreneurs, they're making money, they're crushing it in one area, but they're failing at another one. So notice I didn't just say I would go and work with someone who is a regular 9 to 5 and they just feel a little bit tired sometimes. They just want to have a little bit more energy, because then we would tie back the outcome that I give them, which is health, performance, and focus, back to the life that they currently have. A business owner or an athlete or a high performer, they always have goals of like going to the next level. So they know that they need to change something to get to the next level. So I would sell to those people who want to get to a new level, higher level, and I would find ways to implement my performance system to help them get there. And now they can see that's easily worth, 2,500. No, that's worth 5,000. It's worth 10,000. It's worth more, but I'm going to charge 2,500 because, as you can remember, like we talked about, I'm just getting started, and maybe you're just getting started. So maybe you start with a lower fee. Here's how I actually do it. You look at what would you charge per hour. So let's say something simple as like 50 euros or dollars per hour. $50 an hour. If you just started doing coaching, it would take you a long time to get to 5,000 a month, right? In gross revenue. Like you'd have to coach for 100 hours per month, which is 25 hours per week. It's almost full time, and you're just doing one-on-one calls all the time. Either sales calls or one-on-one coaching calls. So here's how you do it. You look at your hourly rate and you say, what would I then charge per month? Well, every month they would still get one call per week, but they would also get access to me one-on-one in WhatsApp, in Voxer, in whatever chat software they use, but they would be able to message me. And I frame it as a good thing, because instead of having to book your call for next week, you have access to me to message me anytime to ask me any questions around diet, workout programs, habits, focus, planning, productivity, all that. And so by adding that as like, not only do you have the one-on-one calls where we map out everything, we make sure you're on track, I coach you through the next focus and the next target, how to hit it and everything. You also have that one-on-one access to me to ask those questions. And I would then look at what I would charge per month and say, let's say it's $50 an hour, 4 calls per month. That would be 200, because you have access to me as well. That would be typically like a 5, like if it's a lot, it would probably be like 500 or another 200, 300 per month in this current state or stage. Later down the road, it would be like 1,000 per month to have that access. But the value is, let's say, 500 a month. The coaching calls, the value are also probably 500 a month. So that would be $1,000 per month value. I'll charge, even if I just charge 500 a month, it would still be worth it. But I'm going to do 250 per month or 2,500 per year, right? And as I build out my clientele, my portfolio of clients, case studies, maybe testimonials. I keep track of the questions that I'm getting. So here's a big trick that you can take in any business that you have is you keep track of all the questions that you're getting. So people asking you, like for me, it's like, how do you get clients? How do you build funnels? How do you write copy? How do you manage multiple clients? How do you do sales calls? How do you close in DMs? And I can now start creating a curriculum, like a mini course around like answering those questions. So the lesson would be like module 1, foundations, maybe like picking your niche, pricing, portfolio. Then it's like module 2, lead generation, creating your offer, finding leads, reaching out to leads, creating content that gets inbound leads. And I map out like all the things that people have asked me questions about on one-on-one coaching. And that becomes like the curriculum, the program that people can go through on demand. So now they have access to you, they have one-on-one coaching calls with you, and they have a curriculum where they can go through and learn more stuff on their own as well. So now you're given this like all-inclusive experience that isn't just coaching, but it's also not just a course. It's multiple, it's a mix of ways that you can help them. Creating this, like you go from like a 50-50 chance of getting them results to like 90%. If they just follow it, they will get results, right? So now you've created more value, you can charge more. And so if you look at your monthly, let's say it's worth 500 per month, a year, that would be 6,000. If they paid that annually, it would be 5,000, but I'm going to do 50% off for more case studies. So the way that I would position and frame it is I'm looking for more case studies, and I'd love to work with people like you who are serious and they know what they want, and I know I can help you exactly get there by improving your health, your performance, and your focus. And it's going to be 2,500. Some people, they're a business owner, they have money, they're going to be like, great, amazing, that's nothing. Some people who are just starting out still want your help. They're going to be like 2,500. I don't know if I want to invest that into something that would be like nice to have. A lot of people who don't have enough pain and don't see the need for it yet. I mean, they do, but not at that scale. They would feel like it's a little bit much, 2,500, like $2,500 for a health program that I can probably get from a PT, personal trainer for like $200. So positioning matters here, right? Here's what you'll do, and here's what I would do. Because we're talking about what I would do if I did this. I would take my annual plan of 2,500 and would say, listen, instead of you having to pay everything up front, I can actually give you a payment plan if you wanted to commit to a full year. And you can put something down today that you're comfortable with, like $500 or $1,000. And then we split everything else into monthly revenue, like monthly subscription, basically. So instead of a payment plan that is like $250 per month, right? So you give a little bit of a discount when they pay up front. So $2,500 or $250 per month. And because I'm just starting out, I'm being very like loose and flexible with people. In fact, someone who might say like, I don't have a budget of 2,500. I was thinking it would be more around like 500, or I was thinking it would be more like around like 1,000. I would then be flexible and say, well, we'll customize it for you and you'll still get the same program. That doesn't change because this is the process to getting results. I don't want to cut down the quality. But to make it easy for you, we're going to do 250 per month, and you're just going to commit to 90 days. And after that, you can cancel anytime, right? So I want you to be here for 90 days because I know what we can do. We can change your habits, start getting some results in 90 days. And I think when you see the results, you'll want to continue, but I want you to have the options to cancel anytime you want, right? So if you don't feel like it's worth it, or you feel like you have everything you need, now you're not under contract to stay for a year. It's your choice to. I'd love to have you because I know we can do for in a year. But that way it's not 2,500, right? It's $750. And then you get to choose, to stay on if you want after that on a monthly basis, cancel anytime. Now, because you've started at the highest, which is an annual plan, this works even if you do like 10,000. hey, it's one-on-one coaching. I charge 10,000. But, let's say they don't have 10,000. You can do a 3.5K for 90 days or for 6 months as a intro deal. It's a deal because we're working together for the first time, and I know we're going to be able to get results. So you customize it, you're flexible, and you make it the perfect offer for their situation. Don't cut down on one-on-one access. Don't cut down on, oh, you're not getting the course, or you're not getting the workout program, right? Like, if the deliverables, we haven't even talked about that yet. If the deliverables were, we talked about coaching and one-on-one access and the course. But if the process of getting results would be like, we do a kickoff call where we map out your plan, then we do a workout program and a meal plan, and we do a separate custom for you, a healthy, like a delicious, nutritious recipe plan for snacks that you can eat that are actually helping you, right? So it's not about doing this, like it's not about counting calories, for example. We'll make sure that we have a diet that fuels you and gives you energy and keeps you energized throughout the whole day, but you also get to eat snacks now and then, and they're going to be healthy options that aren't giving you inflammation and destroying your sleep, because that will mess with your productivity and your focus and things like that. So deliverables will then be everything they need to actually fulfill it. Not just the coaching and the access to you, but like what are we specifically doing? Well, we're creating new routines. We're creating a workout program that you can do. Or you don't want to go to a gym because it takes time to go to a physical location. We're going to create a custom program for you to do at home that's simple, that will still make you feel good, give you the endorphins of working out, but it's going to be outdoors because you live in a, little bit, not off grid, but you live in a location that isn't ideal to like a gym in your local town, for example. So you customize it, you make it for them. I hope this is making sense and isn't too complicated. I feel like this is very straightforward, and what I would do, I would actually do this to start my coaching business. Now, what else would I do? What about the domain? What about the website? What about content? What about DMs? There's so much more we're going to dive into, but I wanted to give you that foundational clarity on what to sell, how to sell it, because now, let's say on average it's 2,500. Let's say on average people would pay, cash down. Some people do monthly, some people do the full deal. Let's say on average people do 1,000 down, right? So, every time you get a client, you get $1,000. Now you only need 5 clients per month, and some people stay on. Remember, they stay for like 6 months, a year. Some people renew. Some people pay and they leave after 90 days. That's fine. But on average, some people stay. And so you need 5 clients. Let's say you need 4 clients per month, like new clients, to make 5,000 a month. 4 clients, that's 1 per week. Okay, so now we've broken it down to what you need today, this week. Massive vision, starting with your realistic goal of 5,000. 1 client per week. Now we go, okay, wait a minute, like I just need 1 client per week to make 5,000 a month. Then we can break down how many people we need to reach out to, or that need to come to us to close deals, so or to sign on. So we both know there's 2 ways to get clients. There's outreach and inbound. Outreach is cold calling, cold emailing, ads. It's messaging on social media. You go to people and you interrupt their life to offer something to them. Most of the time, you're going to get people just ignoring you. Sometimes you're going to get hate. People saying like, stop messaging me, stop pitching. I do not appreciate this. Sometimes they're going to be even more mean and tell you to F off. And that's fine. That's the cost of doing business. And you choose how much weight you want to put to what they're saying, right? Because only you know what your intentions are. If your intentions are to offer something for free, then it doesn't really matter if they're mad at you offering something for free, right? But there's a way to do it. When you reach out, I wouldn't cold call. I wouldn't like call businesses and be like, hey, I offer performance enhancing programs, um, I would message people on social media with a free offer. That's what I would do. I would be very like kind and direct, and wouldn't waste their time. I wouldn't give them like fake compliments. I know some people, they're like, hey, I saw your kid, you're traveling with your family. Looks like you have kids, and how are they doing? Everything good with the kids? Or hey, I saw you just got a new puppy, cute dog. Like, how's everything with the dog? I would, because I don't do that in person, like in person, offline either. Like, I don't go up to people in town and compliment them on their jacket, or on their spouse. So I wouldn't fake anything. I would just be very direct, like, hey, I saw you're a business owner, and I work with business like entrepreneurs like you, who are typically more visionaries and sometimes struggle with focus and productivity. And I have this system that I'd be, more than happy to give you for free if you wanted to get access to it. And then I would track everything, like my progress and everything with clients, in Milanote. So I would use a software like Milanote or Asana or ClickUp. I would have some sort of system where I have like all my clients, their tracker, their accountability tracker for implementing what we're giving them. And I would give people some sort of like system for just jumping on a call with me. So on the call, we're going to do the game plan. We're going to look at what you're struggling with, and I'm just going to help you on the call. So the call is not to like hard pitch and like twist their arm and force them to buy. And if they don't, I would make them feel bad. No, I would never sell that way. That's like saying, hey, your website sucks. Let me fix it for you. Or, hey, I know you're a business owner, but your videos really suck. Like, I can help you. Even though some beginners, they think it's a good strategy because if I make them feel bad, there's pain, right? So then they have to hire me. No. Instead, what I would probably do if I wanted to sell, for example, websites or sales funnels, it would complement them on something that I genuinely like. I love the fact that you're a fitness coach. And I love working with people like you and optimizing their website. Here's a free thing that I can do for you if you wanted to get access to it, or if you wanted to improve your conversions and get more clients. It's free, no strings attached, and I just want to help more people and get more case studies, right? Same thing in my coaching business then with performance, high performance. Maybe I even launch this business. Maybe you watch this video in a year from now, and I've actually launched it because I'm so passionate about this topic, because I've had the problems myself. Someone said, the best business you can have is when you help people with the problem that you have solved yourself. And my immune system have been so bad the last couple of years, most of my life, but mainly the last couple of years that I can remember. And so I'm on a mission to fix it, and therefore, therefore I could help more people once I find that perfect solution, because it becomes like an obligation to help more people who are also struggling with the same thing. This is the confidence that you need when you go and message people, when you create content. So now I would create content around my personal story as well, of like, man, I used to think that I just needed another supplement. I used to think that I need energy drinks because they make me feel more productive. What I didn't realize was I was causing these problems. And so if you're a business owner, you're someone who is a high performer, you're a visionary, you might be doing something right now that is making you feel good in the moment, but what's actually doing is destroying your long-term health and performance and ability to focus because of the nervous system. What I do with people one-on-one is I help them fix the problem so you can have natural energy, be more focused, produce more, and be more present with your loved ones, make more, and actually feel amazing in your career, in your day-to-day life. If you want to get this, comment access, and I'll reach out with instructions how to get my custom dashboard for high performance. People comment, access, they message me, performance, and I would then invite them on a call. I say, I just want to go over what this looks like with you personally, because there's a few ways you can use it. Depending on your situation, I'll tell you on the call exactly how you can use it. If you want to do it yourself, totally okay. If you want to work with me, I'll show you exactly how we can work together on the call. And you can choose to make a decision right there if it's a good fit. And if it's not, totally cool as well. Content outreach. I would message 10 people in the morning, 10 people during the day, 10 people in the night. I would message people on Instagram, X, LinkedIn, Facebook, because I would go on beast mode. I would go all in, and I would make it my mission to help people with this one thing. Imagine how simple the business is if you only have one offer, one customer avatar. You just have one sort of lens that you look through every single day, and everything you do is like to help more people with their health, performance, and focus with this custom system that you built for them. Sorry, my camera crashed, overheated because we were filmed for 45 minutes, but I want to finish the video for you because it's a one-on-one coaching session and hopefully it's helpful so far. I was saying the main thing is, and I want to transition into marketing and the website and how simple I would keep it. I was saying the main thing that I would just do is focus on that one person, that high achiever that I want to implement. One system that has every pillar that can help you be successful. So it would be all the nutrition, everything that goes into, but can also like disrupt your performance, your health, and your focus. I would eliminate everything bad and add everything that is helping you feel better, perform better, and then package into one offer that would price at 12 months. I would work with people one-on-one, and I would just get busy, get to 5,000. And what I would do to get to 10,000 is just double it. Meaning I would work as hard as I can, but I would just learn and get better at it. So I would close more deals, and that would lead to 10,000. And isn't that crazy? How so many times we look at doubling our business and what we need to add to the business instead of saying like, okay, can I first just do more of what's working? And in this case, we can, because we're selling something at 2,500. So now we just, if we get on average 1,000 per client cash collected, and I'm talking 5,000 cash collected, 10,000 cash collected, I would then need 10 per month at 1,000 cash collected. We have 2 that are from the last month, and not 2 per 1,000 per each, but 2,000. If we have 5,000, we have 1,000 from recurring coming in, 4 people at 250, let's say. At 10,000 a month, we have 2,000, and we have 8 people at 250. So we would now need 8 people who sign on for 1,000 on average, and just simple math, right? What I would do then at 10,000 or 5,000 even, and even at 0 when I'm starting, is I would do the outreach with a free offer and no risk, right? So nothing crazy for them to risk for them to jump on a call with you. It's just value for them. No risk, no brainer. They get a custom system implemented in their life to increase performance. Great. I did this with funnel building as well. I have a ton of people who are doing this in funnel building, freelancing, when they're building sales systems and sales funnels and info products for creators, personal brands, and clients. Is they offer like a free setup or free redesign or free copy, like you write something, free discovery call, free template, free no risk, no brainer offer. You would reach out that way. I would then create content every day, 1 piece per day, and I would just do calls. In my freelancing, I was able to close hundreds of clients in DMs. If I sell coaching, I would do calls because I want to meet them. I'm a stranger to them, they're a stranger to me, and it's important that I love my clients and I know it's a good fit. So I wouldn't just sell it to anybody. I want to know more, and I would therefore do Zoom calls, right? So very simple Zoom calls with a laptop, and that's all you need. Now, my website, my homepage, you might ask, like, Gusten, what would you do? You're the funnel guy. You've built 600 funnels, worked with some of the biggest people. You've seen what works with funnels. What would you do in this case? Well, I've also built a lot of funnels for coaches. And one of the things that I always say is like, the main thing and the reason for a homepage or a website is to build trust and relatability. So I would just have a simple website template, like a homepage template that just tells people what I do, who I am, and what are the benefits and like the reasons. What's the problem that I'm solving for? Why? Why do I solve for this problem? Because I had burnout myself. Who do I work with? I'm working with people who know that there's more to life. They know they have a bigger potential. They have big goals they want to hit. All these things. And they know that the thing that is holding them back is their focus and ability to perform and be productive every single day. They have crashes, they have burnouts, they have fatigue, they feel exhausted. They're not feeling like they're performing at a higher level. And so I would describe them in detail, and then have, as I'm getting more testimonials, I would add them. As I'm getting more case studies, I would add those to the homepage, just like I would with funnel agency as well, a portfolio. And so I'll look at the homepage as a portfolio to display myself and how I can help people with examples and describe them really well. Have the call to action to either message me. So I've had it for years. People can message me on WhatsApp to ask more about my funnels, my coaching, and I would do the same for my coaching, right? The reason I don't just do homepage to calendar, book a call, and then fill out a form so I can learn more about you before we jump on a call together, is because those people have low show up rate. I do content or message directly, and you might say like, well, if you message someone on Instagram, you already have their inbox. Yes, that's true. And you can book a call there directly with them because you have that communication. But if someone comes from content, I would have a link in bio to my homepage that has a button to message me on WhatsApp. Because then on WhatsApp, I can ask them a few questions. We book a call and I tell them what the call is going to be about. They know they're going to get value from it. I'm just going to serve them, help them as much as possible, and get them to ask how we can work more together because they realize this is what they need. It's called prescriptive selling. So instead of manipulation selling, where it's like hardcore, make them feel bad so they have pain and, twist the pain and make agitate it. No, instead it's prescriptive. It's like if you want to perform better so that you have energy when you're traveling and speaking, that's what I'll help you do. And here's exactly how to get to that place where you have energy when you're traveling. And give them like the overview of like, hey, it's actually a mix of you're protecting your energy, setting up habits around simple things that increase your energy. And then we have more planning around your nutrition. So it's energy is fuel based, all these things. And then once they see like, oh, this person, Gusten really knows what he's talking about. They ask kind of the price and then I know they're interested. And so, again, to recap what that would look like, the homepage, I would look at my business is, this name, but my brand is around performance. Or in this case, I would just use my own name. So it's my own name, gustenson.com, and they go there, they see I'm about high performance and everything. They message me, it goes to WhatsApp. I would use a template for my homepage, something simple. In fact, I'll leave a link to templates that we use in High Level. It's a software, it's all in one. Your website, your funnels, your emails and everything, courses, community, everything is in one platform, calendar even. And you can use that to try it out for 30 days. Or you can use something else if you want to as well. This is just what I use. I use High Level. I've customized it because they have a white label. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go crazy. But try it for 30 days, see if you like it. Use one of my templates, add your domain, your own name, or if you want to go with like the topic, you can do that as well. If you find something like peakperformancelab.com, or for your industry could be something completely different. But you get a domain, it's like $10, $15, and you connect it to that page, and then that's it. You just customize the template, check mobile so it looks great, and then that's it. I wouldn't touch it. I would just leave it there. I'd focus on messaging people, create more conversations, optimize my system. Like, how can I make the impact bigger? How can I make the system better, the process to getting the results better? And then I would work with more people, have sales calls where I just help them. So I would almost call them more like help calls instead of sales calls. And we just look at your situation. I try to really be curious because remember, you're not an expert if you're starting out. If I'm starting in peak performance, I'm not an expert. I'm just curious. Hey, I'm curious. What's like the main problem when you wake up? Like even the tone is very curious because I'm genuinely just curious. This is why I've closed so many deals because I'm just very curious about everything. I want to know if I sell a funnel, I'm like, what's your offer? Okay, what do you price it at? Is it high ticket, low ticket? Okay. You have both. Have you thought about having a backend? Okay. Traffic, you running ads or you doing content, more like organic social media? Okay. What about the software, using ClickFunnels High Level? Okay. And I'm just very curious, and I gather all the information to then prescribe something at the end where I would say, okay, so it sounds like to me what you want to have is you want to have 3 revenue streams. You want to have a recurring revenue through your community. You want to have a course that they can access to where they don't have one-on-one, and then you sell coaching at one-on-one, sort of like a high ticket on the back end. And these are the funnels: the homepage, the automated sales funnel, the application funnel. That's it. Like, okay, so now prescribe what they need. They go, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Could you, like, what would it be if you build it out for me? So same thing with this performance coaching. I would prescribe exactly what they need. It sounds like you have a pretty busy life, a lot of things on your plate, right? A lot of projects. You're probably a visionary, like a lot of my clients. That's what we, typically are as entrepreneurs. And so I think for you, would be super beneficial is have someone else create the workout program to customize it to you. It doesn't have to be the craziest. We don't have to count calories. We just make it something simple that works, that you can actually stick to, that you want to stick to, not because you have to, not because you invested in me or yourself, but because you want to, because it makes you feel great. And I'll prescribe it back to them as like, I think this would be like the perfect solution for you. Not the offer. This is what I think that you need. And then they say, well, how much is it then? I agree with you. I think that would be really beneficial, especially when I'm traveling. I think this would be really good for me in order for me to get the results and stay consistent and stay on track. And that's where you say like, yeah, so when I work with people like you, instead of just charging, an hourly rate for a call, which is great, but imagine if we left now, you wouldn't have any access to me to ask questions, to get updated like workout programs or additional support or consulting in your journey. So what I actually prefer is as business owner, we're more like long-term focused. So we make goals for like, where do I want to be in 5 years, right? So I work with people on a 12-month basis, right? So we set a goal for 12 months and I would prescribe kind of what it looks like. It comes with weekly calls. You don't have to have a weekly call if you don't, if you feel like this week I know exactly what to do, because you also have one-on-one access to me directly 24/7 or when I'm awake through the phone. So we would actually just focus more on setting up the game plan. Here's the system and the process we're going to follow. Here are the habits. And every week we review them. We make sure you're on track. I answer any questions you have. I make sure that you're also on track so you have everything you need. And then outside of that, anything that you feel like you want trainings on, I'll film videos and upload in a curriculum so you have a program to watch if you want to. That's totally not a commitment you have to make. It's a bonus that you get. That's 12 months for $2,500. And then they say either, okay, so pretty much 250 per month or 200 per month would be 2,400. And you'll see if they have objections, if they're like not really sure, if it's like way more than they expected, or if they thought this would be like a $100 per month type of deal. You'll get that reaction. And the more people you work with, depending what they say, you'll be able to sort of read the room a little bit and read them to know if this is going to be like a tire kicker. And in the beginning, you just volume. You're just trying to talk with more people so you can see what type of people you're seeing and what they need. And some people will sign up. Some people will say, okay, I'll think about it, or that sounds good. That could probably, there's a lot right now, so we could probably revisit this in a week or 2 weeks and see then, or we're moving in 2 weeks. I've heard everything. Moving in 2 weeks, and so it's a lot of expenses there, but after that we can probably jump on a call again and we can start there. And one thing that I do, I'm not a big like believer in like objection handling. I'm all about clarity. So I just want to know if it's more like the service or if it's the price. If it's just the price, we'll work it out. So that's what I'll tell them. Instead of making them feel bad for having to think about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, totally. Like, some people would say like, oh yeah, I definitely think, it's a big decision. So totally okay if you want to think about it. Well, some sales trainers would say, never say it's a big decision, because you make them hesitant and make them want to think about it. I don't care if they want to buy. Well, at least now I operate more from a place of abundance. I have more money saved up. So it's like, if someone says they want to think about it or not right now, then I'll just be like, okay, I'm not going to try to convince people to work with me. What I would say though for clarity is I would just ask, like, that's totally fine if you want to think about it. Maybe there's questions you have that we haven't covered yet. I'm just curious though if it's more the services of working with me or if it's the pricing, because if it's the pricing, we can just work something out. Oh no, it's great. I love, everything you're about, and I'd love to work with you. It's just right now, like, we're moving and it's the money is a little bit tight. So then I'll say, great. So we can actually make a payment plan and we can split it up so that it's easier for you. And that way the finances doesn't become an issue, right? And so in that case, they would be like, oh yeah, I didn't even know there's a payment plan. That's what they think, right? So they'd be like, okay, great. If we can do something like that, I'm definitely down. Like, I really want to do this. I see how you could be valuable to me. It's just the money with the move and everything. And you say, that's totally okay. Like, I totally get that. I would be the same way. I'd first focus on the family as we're moving. And, but I would also understand, like, this is something I want to do. So, what would you feel like would be a good monthly commitment that you could make that makes you still excited to do this, and you commit to your journey and improving your productivity and health and everything, but that doesn't like stress you out or make you go homeless, right? And they go, well, I was thinking more something like, maybe I could do 500, right? Or I could do like 1,000 for 6 months or something like that. Where you could right there, you could say, okay, let's do that. Let's start with 6 months. And instead of $1,250, we'll do 1,000 for 6 months. I'll give you a discount because it's the first time working together. And then, after 6 months, you can decide if you want to do another 6 months at 1,000, or if you want to do a monthly. Sorry, the camera overheated again. So we'll wrap this up. I was just saying what you can say on the call then, once you know that the pricing is the cash flow, is just make a deal with them. So if it's 1,000, you can say 6 months. You can make a decision if you want to continue after that, which I think you'll want to do, but there's no contract. You don't have to. You'll make that decision then. Therefore, it's a lower risk for you to start today. If they say I was thinking more it's like 500 today, you can say we can definitely do 500, and then we'll just do something like 200 per month until you've stayed for like 12 months, right? So a little bit higher now, and then you'll do a monthly, and then they can cancel at any time, right? If they do a little bit upfront, they can cancel at any time. But if they just do monthly, so 250 per month, which for some people would be like the first offer they would say, right? So some people would say, oh, actually, instead of annual deals or instead of like this high ticket package, I prefer to work with people monthly. You can cancel at any time. It's just 250. You'll get a lot of people say yes, because it's one-on-one coaching for 250. It's cheap, right? You'll get more cash collected, therefore needing less clients to get to 5,000 or 10,000 a month by first selling the 12-month and then downselling people on 500, 1,000 down payment, and then a monthly to get them committed and continuing, but giving them the option to cancel as well, right? So if you do 250 per month, you'll say with that there's a 90-day commitment, and then after that's why that way you only risk 750, but after 90 days you get to choose to cancel if you want. But I don't think you'll want to because of the results I think that we can get together, right? So that is pretty much how I would sell it. This was a little bit of a one-on-one coaching session of how I would start. I would add revenue streams later down the line. So I would add from coaching, I would add a course. I would create a low ticket starter kit to get people a quick result that would then lead into working with me one-on-one. And that would be like my back-end high ticket core offer, because now my social media is starting to get traction. I'm publishing content around biggest mistakes that people are making, how to actually optimize performance, some more maybe like funny content. I would mix between educational, inspirational, funny, and I would create a personal brand around like the high performance guy, have free things that I give away that creates community and goodwill. I would collect emails where they would opt in to get something for free. I would add more links to my bio on social media profiles. I would start doing more like long form YouTube videos that will stay on the internet forever, such as this one. And I would just simply talk and share uh, valuable information out there that live on forever and create that compound hockey stick growth. Um, and that's how I would build my brand. I would create community content. I'd still do outreach until I get to my goals of, like, let's say my ideal revenue goal would be like a 7-figure business, $1 million coaching business with multiple revenue streams. So I have free, 37 a month, maybe a performance app, and then I have a $500 program, and then we have a $2,000 group coaching and $5,000 one-on-one type of thing. And that's a beautiful business model, something you can implement no matter what business you're in. All right, and now with full storage on my camera and having to restart again, I'm gonna wrap up the video. And I just wanna say thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this channel, this community. It's been amazing to see the growth over the last couple of years, but we're just getting started. And I'm so excited to share more exciting projects soon. I got a new business partner. I got new tons of new stuff for you, free courses and stuff here on the channel as well. So thank you for being here. I really mean that. It means everything to me. I would be nothing without you. And I owe you a ton of education, trainings, resources, and anything I can do to make you more successful and create freedom by design. I'm all for it. And so with that, Happy New Year. Hope you've had a great Christmas season. And now let's get into 2025 with a blank page, an open book, and create the best lives, make it the best year that we can, and actually think about what we want, how we can get it. Start simple and follow through on the habits that we create, set the systems in place, and think bigger, dream bigger, and then look at the logical steps to getting there and staying focused on that, eliminating anything else. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.